Hi, and welcome to Blocksy theme for WordPress. In this video, we'll cover all the options you have for disabling, enabling, styling, and more for pages and post titles. In Blocksy, you have both global and individual control over displaying titles on pages and posts. This includes the blog post page, single posts, categories, authors, pages, as well as for search pages and WooCommerce archives. To set the global defaults for the various pages and posts, go into the customizer and enable or disable the default settings for the various titles. Your posts and pages will inherit this default setting. Of course, that can be changed on an individual basis. Let's set all the page and post titles to enabled from within the customizer, meaning that now all your pages and posts will by default display the page and post title. And then go into a post to see how you can take separate control over that post. From my blog posts page, I select this post, and you can see the post title appears here as set within the customizer. To deactivate it, we'll first need to go into the WordPress editor for this specific post. Select Edit Post from the WordPress toolbar. On the right, notice the familiar options sidebar that gives you control over the document properties as well as any selected blocks. To access the Blocksy specific options, go to the settings toolbar in the right-hand corner and you'll notice this icon from which you'll access all the Blocksy settings for this specific post. When you click on this, you'll see the sidebar display options applicable for this specific post. Click on Post Title and you have three options: Inherit, Custom, and Disabled. Inherit is the default setting as set at global label within the Blocksy customizer, and Disabled naturally will remove the post title. Custom gives you the option to choose between Type 1 and Type 2 settings for the post title header. Important to note that the visual changes you make here will not display within the back end, but displays properly on the front end. We will talk more about Type 1 and Type 2 titles soon. This is how you set the individual titles for posts and pages when you want to override the global setting. For categories and tags, go to the WordPress administration area, select categories under the posts label, and for the individual categories, set them here at the bottom. This works the same for tags. Notice again you have the same choices: Inherit, Custom, and Disabled. Let's dive a little deeper into the custom setting from the customizer. Access the customizer from Appearance, Customize, and navigate to the single post we had viewed earlier. From the Options sidebar, select Single Posts. Note that currently it's set to Enabled, and when I disable it, the little chevron icon on the right disappears. Enable it again. This chevron icon is your cue in Blocksy that now you have access to more settings for that specific feature. The entire label has now become clickable as well. Click on it and this will access the custom settings you have seen earlier. Activate or deactivate the various elements over here or reorder them and set alignment to center, right, or left. Notice that the breadcrumbs element is deactivated by default, so just switch it on if you want to include it in your post header. Another important overlooked feature from the elements is the ability to set the excerpt display responsively. This allows you to choose on which devices the excerpt will display in the post title header. In fact, ensure you check all the elements here for the different responsive settings for desktop, tablet, and mobile. What we are interested in here are these two options, Type 1 and Type 2 respectively. Type 1 is the default setting, and currently you are viewing Type 1. Type 2 opens a new world of possibilities. You can set the minimum height to the specific measuring units you want, be it pixels, percentage, viewport height, etc. And if you mess up, remember the reset option on the left. And don't forget the responsive control you have here for tablet and mobile. Under this, you'll have the option to set the background to a color. Once selected, go to the Design tab and set your preferred color, even pattern. Go back to General and select Custom Image. For this option, you can choose any image you want to display. Please note, for both the color and the custom image, that when choosing either, this setting will apply to all posts on your site. Naturally, if you want to override it for a specific post, you go into the individual post like we had done earlier and change the custom image at that level. The last option is featured image. When selected, it will draw the background image from the set featured image. You also have the option for both custom image and featured image to enable parallax effect and set it to the various devices. Hope this video gives you a better insight as to how to work with the titles for the various posts, pages, and archives within Blocksy.